So what I wanted to do is something a little different. I'm putting you guys on the spot here, but I already know you guys are going to have just an easy time with what I'm about to ask. I want to teach some of the people in the channel just something simple, right?
It's literally just naked trade. Now this is Bloodalytics, right? The reason I do, let me just the caveat. The reason I do quant trading is because I can like 0 and 1s. It's very binary. My system either works or it doesn't. I can back test it, run my algo backwards, however long I need. I mean, I can go back on TradingView. We can go back years. We can go back to last year or whatever. I can run a report and see how it pans out, right? We'll let that run out. But what I say is you keep it simple, stupid. Literally naked trading, no indicators. If I take this off, I'm going to give you an example of
naked trading.
Naked trading.
So
naked
sit in your
trading,
sit in your chair, no clothes on, just
no,
get after
just the draws on.
Got
you know, Andrew Tate it, you know, and just trade. No, but what I mean by that is literally support and resistance and trend lines. But you got to know how to draw your trend lines correctly. Many newbies don't draw their trend lines correctly. Yeah. But just to give an example, so you know how we had the major drop off FT situation, right? And we had the low, the local low, which was right here. Now this yellow line, this was here before that bounce. Okay. You may say, where the hell did that come from? Literally, it came from a trend line that I drew way back here on October 18th. And that's it, man. You just draw your trend lines properly.
How do you come up with that? How do you come up with that angle on the line, right? I think that's what people would ask and say, wait a minute, how do we come up with that slope on a line and then it ends up hitting there?
Well, it's called magic. Not magic internet money, but it's just, no, I'm just playing. You literally just need to draw your trend lines correctly. And what I mean by that is when you're drawing your trend lines, it's almost like putting a puzzle together and making sure the pieces lock in there. So what I mean by that is when you're drawing a trend line, and I can draw, this is on the 13 because that's where we trade the Bloodalytics. So let me just reset this really quickly and do a rescale. All you need to do is when you're drawing your trend line, it needs to touch more than 1 point in the future. I really like more than one. So it touches like 3 or 4 or 5 areas on that line as you're drawing it. You're trying to fit it to that, right? So for example, up here, you draw it down here. You see it touched right there. We're going to keep it going, and it broke. Keep it going. And you can see here where, and now this is a steep line. I wouldn't trust this. The broader or less angle it is, the better it is long term. But you just look for areas where you can draw lines and it touches that line 3, 4, or 5 times. That gives you a very solid area for either resistance or support.
Are you going from a high to a low, or a low to a high? Like when you start it versus where you end it? Like if you're drawing a trend line, are you trying specifically to start on a high working, you know, in one direction, or on a low if it's up and to the right? If you're, I guess what I'm saying is if the chart's moving bullish, you know what I mean? Are you starting at a bottom, or is there no?
I guess that's going to be something that you're going to need to learn over time by continually looking at charts and get your spatial intelligence together to know kind of what direction to go. But I mean, you just look at the two to the right is what we used to call it, the like peaks and valleys, right? Your local tops and local bottoms, and just start drawing them out and figuring out where those lines, those trend lines touch multiple times, right? And that's literally, and then of course your support and resistance lines. Those are your horizontal lines. Again, future, or I should say previous resistance becomes future support. So you find in the past where you saw resistance, draw that horizontal line, that now becomes future support. And if it breaches it, then maybe, you know, you should start going for a short, you know, reverse course. But it's all about patience when you're doing this naked trading. You let the market come to you. You don't try to chase the market. So you got to let the market come down to those levels. And many times newbies, they're anxious. They just want to be in a trade. So they don't wait. They don't wait till it gets there. They get in early and end up, you know, stopping out from a liquidation level, or they're losing too much. So you got to wait for the market to come to you.